Welcome back to another episode of eWeekly, your home for campus news. This week, we'll be discussing the fire just off of campus, EMU's tennis team, and more. Alexis Barron has the dish, Gabrielle Reed has Eagle Encounters, and we have you in mind. This is eWeekly.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Eastern Weekly, your place to get the swoop on the scoop. I'm Shayla Barnes Jr.
And I'm Natalia Escalante. Shayla will be helping us out for the rest of the semester on eWeekly. Sarah, our old co-anchor, will be working on the production of James and the Giant Peach. So we have a great show coming for you guys today. Shayla, take it away.
Of course, it's great to be here, Natalia. Thanksgiving is over, which means that we're getting closer and closer to the official start of winter, which is December 21st this year. The challenging seasons come with some perks, depending on your preferences, but the bitter weather, shorter days, and longer nights trigger seasonal affective disorder in some, which predominantly affects women, students, and people with a family history of depression. Men are not immune to depression. Seasonal affective disorder, commonly known as SAD, and if that isn't sad enough, SAD is a form of depression associated with the recurring seasonal pattern. SAD disrupts our circadian rhythms, melatonin production, and certain neurotransmitters in the brain responsible for producing serotonin. If you or someone you love are currently suffering from SAD, please reach out to CAPS at 734-487-1118.
Back last March, EMU eliminated 4 sports teams, and now one of them will be returning to our campus. As of yesterday, November 27th, EMU made a statement announcing the reinstatement of the tennis team. In yesterday's statement, EMU said they hired a new coach, and the sport will be brought back in the spring of 2019. Now, to remind you, students filed lawsuits, and a federal judge granted the temporary halt to the eliminations of the 2 women's sports, softball and tennis. The judge said there was a clear violation of Title IX. Although tennis is en route to be reinstated, the student-athlete's attorney, Jill Zwagerman, says more work needs to be done. The statement also says that EMU is continuing to work with plaintiffs and the court to identify practical, permanent solutions. The university has not yet released the name of the new coach, but they plan to announce the coach's name later this week.
One of the best decisions you can make when you are shut in or winding down is to pick up a book. Our outgoing First Lady, Michelle Obama, released a novel titled Becoming, where she discusses her life of experience through her wise and revelatory experience perspective. Becoming is a deeply personal reckoning of a woman of soul and substance who has steadily defied expectations and whose story has and will continue to inspire us to do the same. The book talks about her roots and how she found her voice, as well as her time in the White House, her public health campaign, and her role as a mother.
Fire officials are still investigating the Ypsilanti apartment complex fire. The fire that happened on November 17th in Village Grove Apartments still has unanswered questions, but more answers have come since then. The fire left 1 person dead, and that person has now been identified. Washtenaw County Sheriff's Office confirmed that 76-year-old Robert Gardner was found dead inside of one of the apartments. A full autopsy won't be completed for about another 60 days, but as of now, Washtenaw County Medical Examiner's Office listed Gardner's death as a residential house fire. To back up some, firefighters responded to the fire on the night of November 17th at 10 p.m. By 3:15 a.m. on Sunday, officials were able to clear the scene. Firefighters from Ypsilanti Township, the City of Ypsilanti, Superior Township, and Pittsfield Township assisted on the scene. No other injuries from this Saturday night fire occurred. Officials have not yet released a cause for the fire.
We'll have more news after the break, following with Alexis at the dish. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
While it may be tempting to reuse the same passwords or store them in a not-so-safe place, in doing so, you're putting your online accounts and data in danger of being compromised. The Eagle security package includes LastPass, an encrypted online password vault that can store all your usernames, passwords, and other personal information in one location. LastPass secures your login credentials using one master password. the last password you'll have to remember. Not only does LastPass store your login credentials, but it can automatically fill them in when you're logging into trusted websites. LastPass can also aid in the creation of strong, unique passwords and secure sensitive data such as addresses, credit cards, and personal notes. Since LastPass is encrypted and protected in the cloud, it's accessible wherever you are, through the LastPass website, a web browser extension, or the mobile app. LastPass makes password security easy. For more information about LastPass, visit tiny.emich.edu/LastPass.
Are you an EMU student interested in getting a first-hand experience working at a radio station? Well, say no more. EMU offers a class through Eagle Radio that will thoroughly prepare you for a real-life experience. But first, you have to register for the class. Pick a date and a time slot. Then the world is yours. Eagle Radio allows you to be fully independent and customize your own show. Have real conversations about the news, celebrity gossip, update listeners about the weather, play a trivia game. It's your show. You're free to name your show whatever you want and play any edited music of your choice. If you love having heated debates and you feel your words need to be heard, then Eagle Radio is just for you.
Welcome back, everyone. We have a few more stories to share with you, and then we'll head over to Alexis with the dish. Take it away, Shaler.
Thank you, Natalia. Transitioning to matters of government, our United States military, including the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard, which concern both personal and public health. President Trump has asked the Supreme Court to fast-track his transgender military troop ban before lower courts have the ability to hear the case. Trump announced in July 2017 tweet that he was reversing an Obama administration policy, allowing transgender men and women to serve openly. He called transgenders enlisted in the military an unreasonable burden that is not conducive to military readiness and lethality. However, research shows that allowing transgenders to serve openly has little to no detrimental effect on cohesion or military readiness. According to several political analysts, Donald Trump uses the military as nothing more than a political prop to advance his own agenda, due to his alliance with the military to promote an image that is perceived as both strong and American, then as leverage to divide and conquer.
It's that time of year again. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and so many deals. Eastern Michigan University Athletics decided to participate in a Cyber Monday event. EMU Athletics is offering Cyber Monday deals for both the men's and women's basketball game tickets. Both deals started on Monday and will continue until this week Friday, November 30th. For women's basketball, they will be offering a BOGO. When you purchase one home game on the Eagles schedule, you will receive a second game for free. For men's basketball, a 3-game ticket package is offered for $21. This deal saves more than 30% compared to single game pricing. EMU Athletics says this deal is the best of the season and you will not want to miss out. EMU men's and women's basketball will be entering conference play soon, and this will be a good opportunity to save money on those game tickets. Go out and support the men's and women's basketball team while saving money.
Funding is always at the forefront of discussion, especially local funding to public schools. Funding to public institutions is consistently scarce, especially in urban communities. Detroit Public Schools began this year with a water shutoff, and the water to Flint Public Schools has been shut off since 2014, both due to elevated levels of toxic lead. This October, both school districts organized receiving money from private donors, which allowed Flint to purchase drinking water stations. But these donors are not permanent fixes. Military policy limits local governments' revenue options by reducing the amount of state revenue shared with local governments and maintaining high public employee costs through pension and healthcare obligations. These factors lead to economic decline, deindustrialization, population loss, and sharp reductions in property values, primarily in these urban communities.
That's what we had for you. Now, let's head over to Alexis with the dish.
Hello, my fellow Eagles. As always, I'm your host, Alexis Barrett, here to bring you the dish. With final season right around the corner, I would like to wish everyone good luck on these last few weeks of classes. On that note, this time of year can be very harsh on students' mental health. The struggle between balancing school, work, extracurricular activities, and a social life can take a huge toll on a person, and it can feel impossible at times. And for this week's episode, I would like to spotlight the importance of self-care and stress relief. Remember to take time to focus on yourself. Life can be overwhelming, but don't forget to make yourself a priority. Sometimes the best thing you can do when you're stressed about something is step back and take a breath and make sure you're focusing on yourself as much as the problem. Don't let minor problems take over your life. And remember, you need a good night's sleep and a balanced meal just as much as you need to study. If possible, reach out to friends and family. Whether it's for personal advice or just to vent, speaking with others is a great stress reliever. You can also look into joining on-campus organizations to surround yourself with people who have similar interests as you. Try prioritizing practicing relaxation exercises. Yoga and meditation are amazing stress relievers. If those aren't for you, try other forms of stress relief like music, crafting, exercise, and other hobbies. You can also take advantage of some of the on-campus events that EMU has to offer. Eastern is constantly hosting fun events such as weekly Friday night movies in the Student Center and Wellness Woof, where you can de-stress and spend time with therapy dogs. The next Wellness Woof is on December 3rd in the Rec IM. Try your best and don't let stress get the best of you. Remember that you are smart, you are strong, and you can get through this. That's all for The Dish. Up next is Sports with Dave Anderson after the break. I'm Alexis Barrett, and we'll see you next week.
Hey.
Ready to go?
Yeah, but the fire's not out.
Close enough.
Close enough? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. I mean, the next thing you know, you've torched our whole neighborhood.
Which is why we're not going anywhere?
Exactly. 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hi, I'm Gordon. I'm here about your job opening. Hi, I'm here about the job. Hi. The word you'll hear most often during a job hunt? No. No. One expert says you can expect 20 rejections before you get your first maybe. So don't be down on yourself. Be sure your resume is flawless, or you'll never see the inside of an interview suite. Be punctual for interviews, but no earlier than 5 minutes. A firm handshake is important. And look the interviewer in the eye.
Don't be a downer, dude.
Speak in positive terms about school and your previous employers. Sit alertly during your interview and show you're human. Smile a little. And follow up every interview with a thank you letter, expressing your interest in the job and why you think you're qualified.
Packers. Viking. Packers. Viking. Viking.
Red state, blue state, vegan.
Carnivore.
We come from different places.
Uptown.
Downtown.
Optimist.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
Half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities,
Live.
our families,
United.
even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer.
In this day and age of compromised accounts and data breaches, having a strong password is not enough to keep you and your personal information safe. Someone who steals your password could gain access to all your data with nothing to stop them. The Eagle Security Package offers Duo, a tool that provides an additional layer of security to your online accounts through two-factor authentication. This means Duo not only uses something you know, your password, but also something you have access to, such as your mobile device. Duo's two-factor authentication gives you the power to keep your data safe, even if your password is lost. Once Duo is set up, you can access protected sites with your login credentials like you normally would. But it will now be preceded by a message sent to your mobile device prompting you to accept or deny the login. If it's you who logged in, hit the green button to accept it. But if it's not you, hit the red button to deny it. By doing so, this extra step will take a forefront stance at protecting your online accounts from being compromised or breached. and you'll know right away if an attempt was made. For more information about Duo, please visit tiny.emich.edu/Duo.
Welcome back to eWeekly. My name is David Pierce Anderson here with Eagle Sports. It's been a while since we've had an episode, so I have a lot to catch up on. A lot of stuff happened in the last couple of weeks, so here we go. The EMU volleyball team played their hearts out a couple of weekends ago at Millett Hall and on the campus of Miami University, and they earned their first ever MAC volleyball championship in program history. In the championship game, EMU went to battle against number 2 seed Miami and came out with a nail-biter of a victory. After dropping the first set 25-19, the Eagles answered back with a 25-21 victory. The Redhawks responded with another 25-19 victory, but the Eagles dominated the rest of the way, taking the final 2 sets 40-23 combined. Cassie Hout was named MAC Tournament MVP as she led the way with the championship game with 19 kills and a .429 hitting percentage. Jordan Smith and Alyssa Lafache were both named to the tournament all-team. After having some time to enjoy the MAC championship, the Eagles now have a new opponent to look forward to. With their MAC championship comes a bid to the NCAA tournament. The team gathered together on Selection Sunday to watch the ESPNU broadcast to officially be selected to the tournament and find out who their opponent would be. It was announced they'd be going to battle with the 3rd best team in the nation, Illinois, on November 30th. The opening round will take place in Champaign, Illinois, and if the Eagles can win both the first and second round matches, they'll head to the regionals on December 7th and December 8th. The Eastern Michigan football team ended their season on a high note as their November 23rd victory at Kent State marks the Eagles as bowl-bound for the second time in 3 years. With a 28-20 victory over the Golden Flash, the Eagles improve to 7-5 on the season and 5-3 in MAC play, their first winning record in the conference since 1995. That was before I was born. This victory also pushes EMU's MAC win streak to the longest it's been since 1989, also before I was born. The name of the game was Jeremiah Harris. On the defensive end, Harris filled the box score as he recorded 9 tackles, 3.5 for a loss, and 3 sacks on the afternoon. His 3 sacks tie him for a single-game program record, joining Ashley Travis in 1999, Kevin Howe in 2005, and teammate Max Crosby last year in 2017. The Eagles look ahead to the December 2nd when they will find out the bowl game they will be playing in and who will they be playing against. To go along with their bowl-clinching victory, Ian Erickson and Jake Julian walked away with MAC Player of the Week honors. Erickson was recognized as MAC Offensive Player of the Week as he recorded a season-high 118 yards rushing and a career-high 3 touchdowns. Punter Jake Julian earned his 5th MAC Special Teams Player of the Week honor this year with his Kent State performance also. Julian punted 8 times for a total of 299 yards, including a game long of 53 yards. It's been a while since we've had an eWeekly, like I mentioned, and the men's basketball team has had a handful of games since then, so here's the rundown of all those games. Last episode of eWeekly we did have was the same day as a big matchup for EMU. They went ahead with the number 1 team in the nation, the Duke Blue Devils. It was no surprise when the Blue Devils took it to the Eagles from the tip-off. Granted, the Eagles had the lead for the first 18 seconds of the game. The rest of the contest wasn't much of a contest. The sold-out Cameron Indoor Stadium was rocking and got to the Eagles as the Eagles fumbled away the ball 19 times, which resulted in 21 points in just the first 20 minutes alone. The Eagles shot .309 from the floor in their 84-46 loss. The Eagles bounced back nicely in the next matchup against Boston College. Elijah Minnie was the story of the game for EMU as he lit up for a career-high 28 points, and the Eagles beat the Terriers 80-62. EMU had a historically bad game against Rutgers next on the 19th of November as they managed only 4 points in the first half. Rutgers' lockdown defense ties the record for fewest points allowed in a half in the shot clock era. The Scarlet Knights are now in company with Kansas State in 2008 and, believe it or not, Eastern Michigan back in 2013 as the only teams to allow that few points in a half. Rutgers topped EMU 63-36. EMU fell to in-state rival University of Detroit Mercy on the 24th. In a chippy game, the Titans topped the Eagles 78-74. James Thompson recorded his second double-double of the year with 24 points and 14 rebounds. Finally, the men's basketball team fell to Texas Christian University 87-69 Monday night in Fort Worth. Boubacar Touré added his second consecutive double-double as he recorded a career-high 20 points in the matchup. EMU falls to 4-4 on the season as they look to get back on track this Saturday, December 1st, as they head to Boston, take on Northeastern University at 3 p.m. That's all we have for sports this week. Up next, we have Gabrielle Reed with Eagle Encounter, so we'll be right back after the commercial break.
So I typically would describe Meals on Wheels in 3 words: support. What I mean by support is having somebody there every day you can count on, who's going to be there with a smile and a hot meal for you.
First, I would say that I would be with them if I could, delivering for the people.
Observant?
That's a tough one. I would say, well, more than a meal. I guess that's 4, but close enough.
It's helpful. I mean, just the fact that somebody's doing something for you should make you feel better.
Abundance.
Fulfilling is probably the main top one.
They're good.
I think that we are a compassionate organization.
I think it's great. I give it thumbs up.
It keeps us independent.
Yes.
It's the easiest, most fulfilling job I've ever had.
It keeps us independent so we don't have to depend on anybody.
Independence.
Caring and steady and present, like we're present for these people, every day.
Joyful, brings a lot of peace and a lot of happiness to you at the end of the day.
Sharing.
Caring, responsible.
I think vital to the community.
3 words? I think it's great, actually. Not trying to steal from Tony the Tiger, but yeah, it's great.
It teaches you portion control.
Loving the community that they work in, trying to make the community better.
Helpfulness.
Actually, it's fun. Believe it or not, it's really fun and fulfilling to be doing this type of thing.
Patience.
It pulls at your heartstrings, it does. And it doesn't matter whether you're out en route delivering meals or you're in the office on the phone.
Reliable.
Hope. So people feel like they have hope, that they can stay in their home for as long as possible. I think all of us want to be where we're feeling most comfortable.
Hidden, because we don't advertise. You know about the program, yet you don't think about the program. I think we're out there helping people more than a lot of people even know, so I think it's a very helpful program. I think it's a much needed program that there's a lot of people in our community who just really could use a program like Meals on Wheels that maybe don't even realize that it's there for them.
My mom's birthday was coming up fast, so I needed to go out shopping for something quick. I needed to move money from my savings to my checking account so I could use my debit card at the mall. I cracked open my laptop, hit the bookmark from my bank, and entered in my username and password. What the heck? I got sent back to the home page. So I entered in my username and password again, made the transfer, and went to the mall where I found this cool little necklace for my mom. That's good news, right? The bad news is, the next week I went to make a purchase and they told me that I had insufficient funds to cover that purchase. Long story short, when I had logged into my bank the first time, I got redirected to a fake site that stole my username and password. I guess I got a virus that redirected my bookmark. The thieves had a field day with my account. I wish I had known then what I know now. You have to check and make sure you're really on your bank's website. This can be done by either recognizing an image you've selected or clicking a lock or VeriSafe icon and comparing the bank's web address to a web address you've got on our certificate. My name is Luke, and I'm trying to be e-safe.
Hello, Eagles, and welcome back. I hope you had a great, relaxing Thanksgiving break. There's so much going on around campus, so let's get into it. First off, there will be a Dine to Donate event happening at Aubrey's Pizzeria and Grill later tonight. The event will be held from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. So go help raise funds toward the Nonprofit Leadership Alliance Conference and eat a few slices. Contact Nicole Allen for more information. Think you have what it takes to be a radiant lady? Come learn about the Zeta Sigma Chi Multicultural Sorority at their informational on Thursday, November 29th. In Student Center, room 302, you'll be able to ask every question from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Just in time for the end of the semester blues, the EMU Theater is putting on a production of James and the Giant Peach.
Catch showings in the Quirk Sponberg Theater on Friday, November 30th, Saturday, December 1st, and Sunday, December 2nd. Tickets and times available at the Quirk Theater. Now, speaking of semester blues, sometimes it can be hard dealing with academic stress. Thankfully, EMU has support groups and CAPS in case you ever need someone to talk to. The Soul Speak Women of Color support group meets every Tuesday in the Student Center from 3:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. As always, I'm Gabrielle Reed, and this is Eagle Encounters. Have a great rest of your week.
Well, Shaylor, how was your Thanksgiving break?
Thanks for asking. It was great, but it's unfortunate we had to come back.
I know, but I did enjoy my time on break. Got to relax. Did you get to relax?
I did relax some, but it was productive too.
Yeah, of course. Being a college student, that's how it is.
Yeah.
And how was your first day as anchor?
I enjoyed it. A couple stumbles, but it was definitely a great time. Looking forward to next week.
Yeah, I'm glad we had you on today.
Thank you.
Well, be sure to follow us on social media at ETV@EMU. You can watch all of our shows on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter whenever you want. That's all from us. I'm Natalia Escalante.
And I'm Shyler Richmond Barnes Jr. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
A typical day will start for the delivery staff because they are central to what we do. Our delivery staff gets here at about 9:30 in the morning. They get their route for the day. Then they prep their vehicle, they clean it out, make sure it's ready to go. They get their hot boxes all set and ready. Valley Food Services, who is our commissary for our food preparation, will come to Meals on Wheels between 9:45 and 10 a.m. They get here, we count out the meals, we temp them to make sure they're at the appropriate heat. Then they section them out and count, make sure we have the exact number of meals we need, and then they get the sides that go along with the hot entrees, and they have that bag and they put that in a cooler, and then they load that into their vehicle. Then they do their exit checkout, and then they're ready to go on their route. So typically they're out of here no later than 10:15, 10:30. Then they start their deliveries, and it takes them about 2 to 2.5 hours to make those deliveries. So for myself and our office staff, I typically get here about 8:30 to open the office. We check our messages. Then we also do some prep work for the routes. If there needs to be some logistical changes for routing, we try to do that. Typically I start by answering emails from volunteers and from our funders, and then my work kind of starts into doing some grant writing and who I have to go meet with today, if I have to meet with a funder or a partner program. And then Carrie does a lot more of the office work as well. So between our primary hours, Carrie will also probably do anywhere between 1 and 3 intake calls for clients who might need to get on our program. So she does that, and it takes roughly about an hour to do that over the phone with a client. She'll kind of help with all the paperwork that we have to file from a state level, sets up appointments for our nursing staff and nursing students to go out and do health assessments for the clients on a daily basis. And then she also just kind of maintains the facility to make sure the upkeep is going well.